New research from the University of Manitoba paints a dim picture of First Nations infants in the province's CFS system. Data on 47,000 First Nations and 169,000 non-First Nations babies from birth to age 5 between 1998 to 2019 was studied. 1 in 3 First Nation infants had an open CFS file, or 36%. That's more than 4 times higher than non-First Nations infants. 9% of the First Nations infants were placed into CFS custody, 7 times more than non-First Nations infants. At-birth apprehensions from First Nations families were 6 times higher than the others. Lead researcher, Dr. Kathleen Kenny, said the study gives much-needed clarity.
I think the power in these data that we're using for this study is that we're able to look at rates at a whole population level. So we're able to say that this percent of the population, that 1 in 3 First Nations infants born in our study period had CFS involvement. And those kind of numbers have not been shown in prior research on in this area.
The rate of CFS contact with First Nations infants grew by 22% over the same study period. For non-First Nations infants, that growth was just 2%. As Chief Betsy Kennedy of War Lake First Nation explains, First Nations children lose more than familial bonds when they're apprehended by CFS. They can also lose their culture, language, and identity.
I'm sure that they would feel that this is not their life, having been taught a different way of life. They would think that this is not their life, but yet the parents and the grandparents and community would say that we've been looking and waiting for so long for you to come home.
Kennedy and the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs outlined a list of recommendations.
Manitoba has apprehended children highest, including the world, including Canada, including the province, so what does that tell you? And the parents and the families are going through a very difficult time, and that they don't know who to talk to, they don't know who to go to.
The study's authors say ending infant apprehensions, supporting family reunification homes, and adding community crisis centers outside CFS would help bring those numbers down. Sierra Buttons, APTN National News, Winnipeg.